Lesson: Legal trends in the gig economy. Legal trends in the gig economy are characterized by an intricate web of challenges and opportunities, requiring HR leaders to navigate an evolving landscape with precision and foresight. The gig economy, defined by short-term contracts and freelance work as opposed to permanent jobs, represents a significant shift from traditional employment models. This paradigm shift has introduced a complex set of legal issues that demand attention and adaptation from HR professionals, particularly those seeking to enhance their expertise in employment law. One of the core legal challenges in the gig economy is the classification of workers. The distinction between employees and independent contractors is crucial as it determines the applicability of labor laws, benefits, and protections. Misclassification can lead to significant legal liabilities, including back taxes, penalties, and litigation. For HR leaders, understanding the criteria used to differentiate between these categories is essential. The IRS provides a useful framework known as the 20-factor test, which examines the degree of control and independence in the worker-employer relationship. Factors such as the level of instruction given, the method of payment, and the permanency of the relationship are considered. Implementing this framework can help HR professionals ensure compliance and avoid costly misclassification errors. Recent legal developments have further complicated the classification issue. Notably, the California Assembly Bill 5, effective January 2020, codified the ABC test for determining employee status. Under this test, a worker is considered an employee unless the hiring entity can demonstrate that the worker is free from control, performs work outside the usual course of the hiring entity's business, and is engaged in an independently established trade. This has profound implications for gig economy businesses, especially those in sectors like transportation and delivery services. HR leaders must stay abreast of such legislative changes and assess their workforce composition accordingly. A practical tool for this assessment is conducting regular audits of workforce classifications, which can involve cross-referencing current worker roles against the ABC criteria to identify potential misclassifications and adjust strategies proactively. Another significant legal trend is the regulation of platform-based work. Gig platforms like Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash have faced increasing scrutiny over their employment practices. In response, some jurisdictions have introduced laws specifically targeting platform workers' rights. For instance, New York City's Freelance Isn't Free Act mandates timely payment and written contracts for freelance workers, providing a legal recourse for disputes. HR leaders operating in such environments must ensure compliance by implementing robust contract management systems. These systems can automate the creation, storage, and tracking of contracts, ensuring that all freelance engagements meet legal requirements and reducing the risk of disputes. Data privacy and protection have also emerged as critical concerns in the gig economy. The collection and use of personal data by gig platforms have raised questions about workers' privacy rights. The General Data Protection Regulation in the European Union sets stringent standards for data protection, which apply to gig economy companies operating within or dealing with EU citizens. HR leaders must develop comprehensive data privacy policies that align with GDPR requirements. This involves conducting data protection impact assessments to identify and mitigate risks associated with data processing activities. DPIAs are a practical tool that helps organizations systematically evaluate the impact of their data processing on privacy and implement measures to protect personal data effectively. Furthermore, the gig economy has brought to the fore issues of wage theft and fair compensation. Gig workers often lack access to traditional employee benefits such as minimum wage protections, overtime pay, and health insurance. In response, some jurisdictions have enacted laws to address these inequities. For example, Seattle's pay-up legislation mandates minimum compensation standards and transparency in payment practices for app-based workers. HR leaders can navigate these developments by implementing equitable compensation frameworks that ensure workers receive fair pay for their services. This includes creating transparent pay structures, conducting regular wage audits, and leveraging technology to track and manage payments accurately. Workplace safety is another area of concern in the gig economy. Gig workers may face unique safety challenges, such as limited access to occupational health resources and protections. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration emphasizes employers' responsibility to provide safe working conditions, which extends to gig workers in certain contexts. HR leaders should prioritize the development of safety protocols tailored to gig workers' specific needs. This can involve implementing training programs that educate workers on safety best practices and equipping them with necessary protective equipment. Additionally, fostering a culture of safety through regular communication and feedback channels can enhance workplace safety for gig workers. The gig economy's global nature introduces complexities related to cross-border employment and taxation. HR leaders must navigate the legal intricacies of employing gig workers across different jurisdictions, each with its own set of employment laws and tax obligations. The OECD's Framework for the Taxation of the Digital Economy provides guidance on addressing tax challenges arising from digital platform work. HR professionals can utilize this framework to develop strategies for managing cross-border tax compliance, ensuring that gig workers' tax obligations are met while minimizing the risk of legal disputes. In conclusion, the gig economy presents a dynamic legal landscape that requires HR leaders to be proactive, informed, and adaptable. By leveraging practical tools and frameworks such as the 20-factor test, ABC test, contract management systems, data protection impact assessments, equitable compensation frameworks, safety protocols, and cross-border tax strategies, HR professionals can effectively navigate the legal challenges of the gig economy. Staying abreast of legal developments and implementing these strategies will not only ensure compliance, but also enhance proficiency in managing gig workforce dynamics, ultimately contributing to the success and sustainability of organizations in this evolving economic landscape.